The history and tradition of royal coronations. The coronation of a British monarch is a historic event that has been celebrated for centuries. It is a grand and impressive ceremony that marks the beginning of a new reign. Here are 10 interesting facts about the royal coronations. Anointing with holy oil. The coronation of a British monarch involves an anointing with holy oil, which is symbolic of the monarch's right to rule. The oil is poured over the monarch's head, hands, and chest, and is meant to consecrate the monarch as God's chosen ruler. Dates back to the 9th century. The coronation ceremony dates back to at least the 9th century and has evolved over time. The earliest coronations were simple affairs, but over the centuries they became more elaborate and ceremonial. First broadcast on television. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953 was the first to be broadcast on television. Millions of people around the world tuned in to watch the historic event, which was seen as a symbol of the modern era. St. Edward's crown. The coronation regalia includes the St. Edward's crown, which is made of solid gold and weighs almost 2.5 kilos. It is one of the most important symbols of the British monarchy and is only used during the coronation ceremony. Coronation oath. The coronation oath taken by the monarch dates back to the 13th century. The oath includes a promise to uphold the laws and customs of the realm and to govern the people with justice and mercy. Carriage instead of horseback. In 1377, King Richard II was the first monarch to ride to his coronation in a carriage instead of on horseback. This was seen as a sign of the king's wealth and power and set a precedent for future coronations. Coronation chicken. The dish called a coronation chicken was created for Queen Elizabeth II's coronation in 1953. The dish consists of a cold chicken in a curry mayonnaise sauce and has become a staple of British cuisine. Held in Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey has been a traditional site of coronations for British monarchs since the 11th century. Queen Victoria's coronation in 1838 was significant in that it was the first to be held in the newly rebuilt Westminster Abbey following a major renovation. Today, the Abbey remains one of the most iconic landmarks in London. Delayed coronation. Monarchs of England were not traditionally crowned until several months after their accession to allow for a mourning period for the previous monarch. This practice was abandoned in the 20th century, and modern coronations are usually held within a few months of the monarch's accession. State occasion. The coronation of a British monarch is considered a state occasion and is typically attended by dignitaries and foreign heads of state. It is a grand and impressive ceremony that marks the beginning of a new era in the history of British monarchy. In conclusion, the coronation of a British monarch is a historic event that has been celebrated for centuries. It is a grand and impressive ceremony that symbolizes the monarch's right to rule and marks the beginning of a new reign. The 10 interesting facts about royal coronations that we have discussed here are just a few examples of the rich history and tradition of this iconic ceremony. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your support and hope to see you again soon.